What's up guys, Bernd here, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another YouTube tutorial. I just uploaded a really fun chromatic shred challenge on Instagram. This exercise is quite amazing because it helps you with quite a lot of different topics. It helps to further develop your alternate picking technique, your note spacing and also your hand synchronization. Let's check out a video of the lick performed at the original tempo before we go a bit deeper into why this particular workout is so great and how you can master it. In the last section of the video I will also practice it together with you in 3 different tempos, so make sure to grab your favorite guitar in E standard so you can play along with me, or just come back to the video whenever it suits you so we can work on it together. I pinned a comment down below with the time codes of these play along sections so you can skip to them in the future whenever you need to. But first, here's the lick we're talking about. So as you can hear, this exercise sounds pretty interesting actually, and I absolutely prefer it over the more mindless chromatic runs usually played in this position for warm-up exercises. We are playing the chromatic scale here, meaning every note we come across in this section of the fretboard we are playing in. The full chromatic scale would be every single note we could possibly play on the entire fretboard. For this section we are limiting it to a 4-note per string pattern. Due to the slight difference in tuning and intervals caused by the tuning of the B string in E standard tuning, it is not completely symmetrical, so that's the first challenge for your brain, so to say. So you actually have to do a little bit of thinking here. It won't sound as nice when you just play the semi-chromatic scale, so to say, just from the 5th to the 8th fret up and down in every position. You only get this really cool descending and ascending crazy chromatic sound when you are actually playing all these notes in the correct order. So there's a system to this madness, I want you to remember that. The next interesting thing is the phrasing here. We are playing a group of 10 that is constantly repeated across the different strings. With an odd grouping like that, the accents that we create fall on much more interesting times within the measure. Usually we work with groups of 2 or 3 for triplets, for example, or also 4. But here we combine a group of 6 with a group of 4 and get a total of 10 notes until the pattern is repeated in the next sequence. So that might take some time to get used to, but it's a killer exercise for more original rhythmic lead work. So next time when you're writing a lick or a solo or just a small section of a guitar solo, I want you to remember this approach and I want you to work with interesting note groupings and accents. I'm quite sure that you will come up with something really creative when you work that way. Last but not least, concerning technique, we are playing alternate picking here, quite obviously, continuous down and up strokes all the time without any exceptions. So that makes it a really nice warm-up exercise for your right hand to loosen up the wrist a little bit. I came up with this idea backstage at the last show that I played. I had a lot of time waiting for the concert and it really helped me to loosen up before the gig. Overall, please try to stay relaxed when you're practicing this exercise. I also included a cam for my right hand for a quick view on my technique here and there. Pay attention to how small and effective the motion is. We get really nice and clean notes that way, and that is the main goal. We don't want any super aggressive picking strokes for this technique. We want it to flow and sound fluid and nice. In the beginning I also mentioned the topic of hand synchronization. This is where it gets really interesting in my opinion. Since we are playing a different note every time we are picking here, we can clearly hear any kind of mistake. It's quite impossible to hide them here in this situation. So that's actually the best part of this exercise, as it will help you with syncing up your 2 hands and it's easy to control yourself when you're practicing. You will hear it as soon as you get sloppy and miss a couple of notes. If it's hard for you to focus on that vitally important aspect while you're practicing, you can always also record yourself, just video or audio material, whatever you prefer, and then you can analyze if you played the workout correctly and if all the notes are lining up equally in sound and also in timing obviously. That's the note spacing we talked about. So to get started, I want to practice this exercise together with you now in 3 different tempos. We are playing 8th notes at 80, 110 and 130 beats per minute for around 2 minutes each. Of course, you can also play it much slower to start learning it, and you can also play it much faster as soon as you get comfortable with the workout. But also make sure to practice it with me here whenever you have time. Also always work with a metronome to get the timing correctly when you're practicing by your own. Without further ado, let's work on this together now.